Hi, English learners.
This is the English Daily Learning Podcast, where clear English meets real life.
I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo.
There is no need to understand everything perfectly today.
In fact, that idea is part of our topic.
Today we're talking about how to understand fast English in real conversations.
The kind of English that sounds clear in a textbook, but completely different when a real person says it.
Exactly. We'll explore what actually makes English sound fast, which sounds often disappear, how words connect, and what to do when you lose the meaning.
And this is a conversation, not a test. Just listen, relax, and notice what feels useful. Mia, let me describe a frustrating experience.
Go ahead.
I read an English sentence and understand every word. Then someone says the same sentence aloud, and suddenly it sounds like one enormous word.
That experience is extremely common.
I look at the written sentence and think, I know this. Why couldn't I hear it?
Because written English and spoken English give you different kinds of information.
On the page, every word has its own space.
Right. You can stop, look back, and check the spelling. In a conversation, the sounds keep moving. Words connect. Some sounds become weaker, and the speaker chooses a rhythm.
So the problem is not always vocabulary.
Often it isn't. You may know the words individually, but not recognize their spoken shape.
Their spoken shape?
Think about a person wearing different clothes. You still know the person, but you may need a second to recognize them. Words also change their appearance in natural speech.
Except they change their sound.
Exactly. A word may become shorter, quieter, or connected to the word beside it.
This makes me feel better. It means I couldn't hear it is not the same as I don't know English.
That's an important distinction. Listening is a recognition skill. Your brain needs experience connecting the sounds you hear with language you already know.
Is that why a sentence can become obvious after I see the subtitles?
Yes. Before seeing the subtitles, your brain may hear an unclear stream of sound. After seeing them, it suddenly knows where the words are.
And then I play the sentence again and wonder how I missed it.
Exactly. The sound didn't change, your brain's map changed.
So real listening practice is partly about building a better sound map.
That's a lovely way to put it.
When people say fast English, are native speakers simply moving their mouths very quickly?
Sometimes people do speak quickly, but speed is only one part of the problem.
What else makes it feel fast?
English has a strong rhythm. Important words usually receive more stress. Smaller grammar words often become short and quiet.
Can you give me an example?
Take the sentence, I want to go to the store.
Every word looks clear on the page.
But a natural speaker may emphasize want, go, and store. The two uses of to may be much weaker.
So I might hear the important shape before I hear every small word.
Exactly. Want, go, store. Those stressed words carry most of the basic message.
The smaller words still matter grammatically, but they don't receive equal energy.
Correct. Learners sometimes expect every written word to arrive as a separate, complete sound. Natural speech rarely works that way.
That expectation makes the sentence feel faster than it really is.
Yes. Imagine listening for 10 equally strong beats, but the speaker gives you only 3 strong beats with softer sounds between them.
My brain keeps waiting for words that have already passed.
Exactly. Then, while you're trying to solve one small word, the conversation moves forward.
This happens to me. I miss one word and immediately start thinking about it.
And that creates a traffic jam in your mind.
A listening traffic jam.
The missed word stops, but the rest of the conversation keeps driving toward you.
So what should I do?
Let the small word go for a moment. Stay with the speaker and listen for the next stressed word.
That sounds simple, but emotionally it is difficult.
It takes practice because learners often believe understanding means collecting every word.
Like collecting coins in a game.
But conversation is not a game where one missed coin means failure. Meaning is spread across the whole message.
Let's talk more about those quiet grammar words.
They are often called weak forms. Words such as to, for, and, of, can, and a may sound very different when they are unstressed.
Different in what way?
Their vowel may become a relaxed sound, often called a schwa. It is the soft sound you hear in many unstressed syllables.
So for may not sound like the careful dictionary version of for.
Right. In This Is For You, the word for can become very quick and light.
And a cup of coffee doesn't usually have four equally strong words.
Exactly. Cup and coffee are clearer. A and of are usually weak.
Sometimes of feels almost invisible.
It may be reduced to a tiny sound that connects the important words.
What about and?
And often becomes something like un, or even a simple n sound. Tea and coffee can sound more like teen coffee.
That explains a lot. I was waiting for a perfect and.
And the speaker had already reduced it.
Is weak pronunciation lazy English?
No, it is normal rhythm. Strong and weak sounds help spoken English flow. Saying every word with full stress can sound unusual and may even make the main idea harder to follow.
So reduction is not carelessness. It is part of the system.
Exactly. However, a word can become strong when the speaker wants to contrast or correct something.
For example,
I said the gift is for you, not from you. Here, for becomes strong because the contrast matters.
the same word has a weak version and a strong version.
Yes, and context tells you which one the speaker needs.
This feels like music. Some notes are louder because they carry the melody.
That's a useful comparison. If you listen only for perfectly pronounced small words, you may miss the melody of the sentence.
The page gives us spaces between words. Does speech have spaces?
Not in the same way. Spoken words often connect smoothly.
What is the easiest kind of connection to notice?
When one word ends in a consonant sound and the next begins with a vowel sound.
Such as?
Pick it up. The final sound of pick connects to it, and the final sound of it connects to up.
So it may sound more like one unit than three separate words.
Yes. Turn it off behaves similarly.
That phrase confused me for years. I knew turn, it, and off, but I didn't hear three clean pieces.
Because the speaker wasn't producing three isolated pieces. They were producing one connected phrase.
Does this happen only in very fast speech?
No. It happens in ordinary natural speech too. A person can speak slowly and still connect words.
That's important. Asking someone to slow down may help, but it doesn't always create textbook spaces.
Exactly. Natural speech remains connected.
Are there other kinds of linking?
Yes. Sometimes two similar sounds meet and feel like one longer sound. In Big Game, the two G sounds do not need two separate explosions.
And in next time, the group of consonants can become difficult.
Right. Speakers may simplify a difficult group of sounds. The T in next may be very small or hard to notice before time.
Is that why last night sometimes sounds different from the careful version?
Yes, sounds influence their neighbors. Our mouths naturally look for efficient movement.
So when a sound appears to disappear, it may not mean the speaker forgot the word.
Correct. The information is often carried by the surrounding sounds and the context.
How can learners become better at hearing these connections?
Start noticing whole phrases instead of trying to cut the sound into words immediately.
Here, turn it off as one familiar sound pattern.
Exactly. Later, your brain can connect that pattern with the three written words.
We should talk about the famous examples, gonna and wanna.
Yes, because learners hear them everywhere.
Are they separate vocabulary words?
They represent common spoken reductions. Going to can sound like gonna when it expresses a future plan or prediction.
I'm going to call her later.
Right, but be careful. When going to describes physical movement toward a place, speakers may pronounce it more fully. I'm going to the office is not always reduced in exactly the same way.
Meaning and grammar affect the sound.
They do. Want to often becomes wanna, as in, do you want to come?
And have got to or got to can become gotta.
Yes. I've got to leave means I have to leave.
Should learners write these forms in formal emails?
Usually not. They are strongly associated with informal speech and casual writing.
but learners need to recognize them.
Absolutely. Recognition is more important than forcing yourself to use every reduction.
That's comforting. Sometimes learners hear a new casual form and think, I must say this immediately to sound native.
Natural speech is not a costume. Use expressions that feel appropriate for you and the situation.
Are there other reductions that may surprise learners?
Did you may sound like didja. Would you may sound like woulda. Don't you can sound like don'tcha.
Those spellings look funny, but they help describe the sound.
Yes, although you normally keep the standard spelling in ordinary writing.
What about, what are you doing?
In casual speech, what are you may blend into a much shorter sound. The exact result depends on the speaker and accent.
So I shouldn't memorize one magical pronunciation and expect everyone to use it.
Correct. Treat these as families of possible sounds, not fixed rules that every person follows.
The goal is to become less surprised.
Exactly. When your brain knows a phrase can change shape, it searches more flexibly.
Earlier, you suggested hearing phrases as single units. Are those what teachers call chunks?
Yes, a language chunk is a group of words that often appears together.
Such as, at the end of the day.
Exactly. Or, to be honest, as far as I know, a little bit, and do you know what I mean?
That's a long group of words.
But an experienced listener doesn't need to build it from zero every time. The whole pattern is familiar.
Like recognizing a friend's face instead of studying each eye, ear, and eyebrow.
Great comparison. Chunks reduce the amount of work your brain needs to do.
If I translate each word in you know what I mean, the speaker will be 2 sentences ahead.
But if you recognize the whole expression, you understand its conversational function immediately.
Its function is checking whether the listener understands.
Usually, yes. Sometimes it also invites agreement or creates a friendly connection.
What are some chunks that sound especially compressed?
A lot of is one. Kind of and sort of are others. In fast speech, their small internal words become weak.
It's kind of difficult.
Here, kind of softens the statement. It means somewhat or in a way.
It doesn't mean a type or category.
Not in that sentence. Context gives the chunk its meaning.
Another one I hear is, I don't know.
Very common, and it may become surprisingly short. The sounds can blend, and the speaker's tone may carry as much meaning as the words.
I don't know can mean genuine uncertainty.
Or hesitation, polite disagreement, or I'm not completely convinced.
So understanding fast English also means understanding what expressions do in conversation.
Exactly. Sound, vocabulary, grammar, context, and social meaning all work together.
Real conversations contain many expressions that textbooks sometimes remove.
You mean fillers and conversation markers?
Things like, well, actually, I mean, you know, and like.
Those expressions can look unimportant, but they organize speech and show the speaker's attitude.
Let's start with well.
Well often gives the speaker a moment to think. It can also signal that the answer is not simple.
If I ask, did you like the movie? And you say, well,
You already know my answer may contain a qualification.
maybe you like parts of it, but not everything.
Exactly. The word prepares you for what comes next.
What about actually?
It can introduce a correction, a surprising fact, or information that differs from an expectation.
I thought the cafe closed at 6.
Actually, it's open until 8.
So hearing actually helps me predict the direction of the sentence.
Yes. I mean often explains, repairs, or clarifies the speaker's previous words.
The meeting was terrible. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was very long.
That's a perfect natural repair.
And you know does not always ask whether I know a fact.
Correct. It may invite shared understanding. It's that feeling when you forget why you entered a room, you know?
The speaker is saying, you probably understand the experience.
Exactly.
Learners sometimes become annoyed by fillers because they seem to interrupt the sentence.
But once you understand their job, they become helpful road signs.
Well means the answer may be complicated. Actually may bring a correction. I mean, may clarify.
And these signs give your brain extra time to process the main message.
Let's return to the listening traffic jam. How do I avoid it in a real conversation?
Listen for the words that carry the main message. People, actions, objects, descriptions, times, places, and contrasts.
Suppose someone says, I was going to call you after work, but my train was delayed.
Even if you miss several small words, call, after work, train, and delayed give you a useful picture.
A planned call didn't happen because of a train problem.
Exactly. You can understand the situation without producing a perfect written transcript in your head.
That's a different goal.
It is. Conversation asks, can you follow the meaning? A dictation exercise asks, can you record every word? Those are related but different skills.
I think many learners secretly turn every conversation into a dictation exercise.
Then they judge themselves for not creating perfect subtitles in real time.
Human conversations don't come with a pause button.
And even native speakers do not consciously process every sound. They use expectations, context, and general knowledge.
Can expectations be dangerous? What if I guess incorrectly?
Prediction is not blindly deciding what the speaker said. It means keeping a few likely possibilities ready and updating them as new information arrives.
Like a detective who changes the theory when new evidence appears.
Exactly. If someone begins, I missed the bus, so I was, you may expect late, stuck, or waiting. The next sounds help you choose.
If I expect every possible English word equally, listening becomes impossible.
Context narrows the search.
So before a work meeting, my brain can prepare for schedules, projects, problems, and decisions.
Yes. Before ordering coffee, you can expect questions about size, milk, temperature, and whether you want anything else.
Familiar situations make fast English easier because the possible meanings are limited.
Precisely.
Sometimes I understand a podcast at home but struggle in a cafe. Is that just nervousness?
Nervousness can play a role, but the listening conditions are also different.
At home, the microphone is close to the speaker.
The audio is usually clean, you control the volume, and no one is waiting for your answer.
In a cafe, there is music, dishes, other conversations, and an espresso machine that suddenly decides to scream
And the speaker may turn away while talking.
or cover their mouth with a cup.
Real-world listening includes distance, background noise, facial expressions, gestures, and social pressure.
Facial expressions and gestures can help, though.
Very much. Listening is not only an ear activity. You also read the situation.
If the server points to 2 cup sizes, I may understand the question even if I miss a word.
Exactly. Use every source of information available.
What should I do when background noise hides part of the sentence?
First, don't assume your English has suddenly disappeared. Noise affects everyone.
Even native speakers say, sorry, in noisy places.
Constantly. Move closer if appropriate, look at the speaker, and ask for the missing information.
Not necessarily the entire sentence.
Right. If you heard, let's meet at, but missed the time, ask, what time did you say?
That sounds more confident than, I don't understand anything.
Because you show what you did understand and identify the gap.
We also need to talk about accents.
Absolutely. English is spoken around the world, and there is no single voice that represents every real conversation.
A learner may become comfortable with one teacher's accent and then feel lost with someone else.
That's normal. Different speakers use different vowels, rhythms, vocabulary, and reductions.
Even 2 people from the same country can sound different.
Because of region, age, community, personality, and individual speaking habits.
Should learners try to study every accent?
You don't need to master an enormous list. Build variety gradually.
Start with clear speakers, then include more voices.
Yes, different ages, backgrounds, and speaking styles. The goal is not to label every accent perfectly. The goal is to become flexible.
Sometimes people say, that person has no accent.
Everyone has an accent. Usually that sentence means, their accent is familiar to me, or their accent matches a variety I think of as standard.
Familiarity feels like clarity.
Exactly. A new accent may initially feel faster, even when the speaker's actual speed is not higher.
Because my brain needs more time to map the sounds.
Yes. After enough exposure, the same speaker often seems to Slow down.
But the speaker hasn't changed.
Your recognition has changed.
That is one of the most hopeful ideas in this episode.
I agree. Difficulty is not always permanent. Familiarity can transform what you hear.
Let's say I lose the meaning completely. What can I say without feeling embarrassed?
The simplest option is, sorry, could you say that again?
Polite and direct.
You can also say, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Catch means hear and understand the message.
Exactly. In a noisy place, sorry, I couldn't hear you, makes the physical problem clear.
What if the person repeats the sentence at exactly the same speed?
Ask more specifically. Could you say that a little more slowly?
Or, could you say that another way?
Excellent. That asks for different words, not simply the same sounds again.
What if I understood most of the sentence?
Confirm what you heard. Did you say the meeting starts at 13 or 30?
That's a very realistic problem.
Or say, you said Tuesday, right?
Short confirmation can prevent a big mistake.
Exactly. You can also repeat the part you heard with rising intonation. At the front entrance,
Then the other person can say yes or correct me.
this is called a clarification strategy. Strong communicators use these strategies in every language.
So asking for clarification is not evidence of bad English.
No. Pretending to understand important information can create far more trouble.
Especially with dates, prices, addresses, and instructions.
Those are moments when accuracy matters. Ask again.
What if I don't know one expression?
Say, what does that mean? Or, I'm not familiar with that expression.
Could I ask, do you mean, and offer my guess?
Yes. Do you mean we should wait here? That keeps the conversation moving and checks your interpretation.
Here's an uncomfortable situation. I ask someone to repeat. They repeat. I still don't understand.
Very normal.
But now I feel that I have used my one chance.
You have more than one chance.
What can I say the second time?
Be specific and change the request. Sorry, I heard the first part, but what did you say after tomorrow?
That tells the person where the problem is.
Or ask, could you give me an example?
Useful when the vocabulary is unfamiliar.
You can also say, I'm sorry, I'm still not following.
Does that sound rude?
Not with a calm, friendly tone. It is honest.
What if the information is a name or address?
Ask the person to spell it or write it down. Could you spell that for me? Is completely natural.
Technology can help too.
Yes, for important details, showing a message, map, or calendar can make communication easier.
Communication is the goal, not proving that my ears can do everything alone.
Exactly. Real communication is cooperative. Both people can adjust.
A kind speaker may naturally slow down or choose clearer words.
And a good listener gives useful signals. A nod, a question, or a quick summary.
So, just to make sure, we're meeting outside the station at 7.
Perfect. Just to make sure is a very useful phrase before confirming details.
What kind of listening routine actually helps with fast English?
Use a short piece of audio more than once, but give each listen a different purpose.
What should I do the first time?
Listen for the general situation. Who is speaking? What are they talking about? Is the mood positive, worried, excited, or uncertain?
No pausing every 3 seconds?
Not on the first listen. Let the message flow.
And the second time?
Notice the important words and the places where your understanding becomes unclear.
Then I can use subtitles or a transcript.
Yes, compare what you heard with what was actually said.
This is the moment when familiar words suddenly appear.
Exactly. Pay special attention to the connection between the written phrase and its spoken shape.
Then listen once more without reading.
And notice whether the sound feels clearer.
Should the audio be long?
A short section is enough. 30 seconds of careful noticing can be more useful than 20 minutes of frustrated guessing.
But we also need relaxed listening, don't we?
Definitely. Not every listening experience needs analysis. Spend time with English that you enjoy, even when you understand only the main idea.
So there are 2 useful modes: focused noticing and relaxed exposure.
Exactly. Focused work helps you solve specific sound patterns. Relaxed exposure builds comfort, rhythm, and endurance.
What level of content should I choose?
Choose material where the topic is understandable and the language stretches you without completely losing you.
If I understand almost nothing, I may need a clearer speaker or a more familiar topic.
Yes, difficulty should create curiosity, not constant panic.
Some learners listen for hundreds of hours but feel stuck. Why?
Listening time matters, but attention matters too.
If English is playing quietly while I think about something else, my brain may not build many new connections.
Background listening can create familiarity, but it cannot replace moments of active attention.
Another mistake may be choosing only one familiar voice.
Yes, you become excellent at understanding that person. Then assume you should understand everyone equally.
And feel disappointed when a new speaker sounds difficult.
Variety helps your brain learn which parts of a phrase stay stable and which parts can change.
What about slowing audio down?
It can be helpful for locating sounds, but use it as a temporary tool.
Why temporary?
Very slow playback changes natural rhythm and can make voices sound strange. After examining the phrase, return to normal speed.
Another temptation is increasing everything to 1.5 speed because it feels productive.
Faster playback can be a challenge, but it doesn't automatically create better listening. If meaning disappears, you may simply be practicing confusion.
So the right speed is the one that lets me notice and understand something useful.
Exactly.
What about memorizing long lists of reductions?
Lists can introduce possibilities, but sound patterns become real through context. Hearing gonna inside meaningful conversations is more valuable than memorizing 50 unusual spellings.
We need examples, situations, and repetition.
Yes, language lives in use.
Sometimes I understand the general idea, but not every detail. Can I still respond?
Absolutely. Respond to what you understand and leave room for correction.
Suppose someone tells me about a difficult journey. I catch airport, 3 hours, and lost luggage.
You could say, "That sounds exhausting. Did you get your luggage back?"
If I misunderstood, the person can correct me naturally.
Exactly. A response is also a comprehension check.
What are some flexible responses that keep a conversation going?
Really? What happened next? How did you feel about that? Was that the first time?
These questions do not require a perfect transcript.
They require the main idea and genuine attention.
Another useful phrase is, so what you're saying is,
Yes, especially for a complex idea. Then summarize in your own words.
so what you're saying is, the original plan changed because the weather got worse.
The speaker can confirm or adjust your summary.
This turns listening into cooperation instead of silent pressure.
Exactly. Good conversation is not one person sending perfect sound while the other person receives it perfectly. Both people build meaning together.
That may be the biggest difference between a listening test and a real conversation.
In a test, the recording cannot help you. In life, the other person often can.
If understand every word is not a healthy goal, what is?
A better goal is follow the main idea, notice important details, and know when to ask for clarification.
That sounds like real communication.
It is. Your level of detail can change depending on the situation.
A funny story with a friend doesn't require the same accuracy as medical instruction.
Exactly. For a story, the general meaning may be enough. For a flight time or safety instruction, confirm every important detail.
So successful listening includes judgment.
Yes. Ask yourself, what do I need to understand here?
That question removes a lot of unnecessary pressure.
It also helps you choose a strategy. Relax and follow the mood. Listen for one detail. Or stop and clarify.
I like the idea that listening is active decision-making.
It is not simply allowing sound to enter your ears.
And progress may be difficult to notice day by day.
Very difficult. One day, however, you realize you followed a whole conversation without translating. Or you understand a joke before reading the subtitle.
Those moments feel small from the outside and enormous from the inside.
Celebrate them. They show that your sound map is growing.
Let's collect the main ideas before we finish.
Fast English is not only about speed. Natural rhythm makes important words strong and small grammar words weak.
Words connect, sounds influence their neighbors, and common expressions may become much shorter.
Familiar chunks such as, to be honest, kind of, and you know what I mean, are easier to recognize as complete patterns.
Fillers such as, well, actually, and I mean can guide you through the speaker's thinking.
Context helps you predict likely meanings, and keywords help you follow the message without collecting every sound.
Noise and unfamiliar accents can make listening harder, but difficulty often decreases with exposure.
And when you don't understand, ask. Could you say that again? I didn't catch the last part. Could you say that another way?
Asking a clear question is a communication skill, not a failure.
Most importantly, don't measure your listening by perfection. Measure it by connection.
Did you understand enough to respond, ask, smile, decide, or continue?
If you did, the conversation worked.
And every real conversation gives your brain another example of how English sounds outside the page.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
If this episode made fast English feel a little less mysterious, hit like and subscribe to the English Daily Learning Podcast.
Keep listening with curiosity. Be patient with the sounds you miss, and notice the meaning you already understand.
We'll be back with another relaxed English conversation soon.
Until then, take care.
And keep English close to your everyday life.